With the first two Paddington movies, director Paul King gave us absolutely delightful family films that brought a ray of sunshine to the world through Michael Bond's marmalade-loving bear. And now we have a third movie titled Paddington in Peru, which takes him back to his home for an adventure in the jungle. Even though King did not return to direct as he was busy working on Wonka, he was still involved in conceiving the story for this film. Instead, Dougal Wilson, whose background is in commercials and music videos, was brought in to helm the movie, and with how particularly great Paddington 2 is, he certainly had a lot to live up to. Thankfully, Paddington in Peru more than retains the quality and charm this series has become known for. Paddington is just a sweet-natured character, and there's immediately an interest in seeing what scrapes he'll get into and what will happen to him next. It's great seeing the support he has among the Brown family, as well as others in the neighborhood. A large reason for the character's likability comes from not only the writing and Ben Whishaw's vocal performance, but the animation from the talented folks at Framestore. They find the right balance and make him seem like a bear, but giving the needed design and expressions to make us endear to him. Whenever we get a slapstick sequence involving Paddington, there's a Chaplin-like quality to the way he moves across the screen and interacts with the objects. A sequence on a rocking boat comes to mind, and there's even a moment that pays tribute to Buster Keaton. The actors playing the Brown family also do a lot to make us believe that they're actually interacting with a talking bear and treating him like a co-star. After 3 movies following these characters, their connection truly comes through, which plays a major role in adding to the emotions of the story. Hugh Bonneville continues to embody Mr. Brown and finds the humor in his risk-averse lifestyle, which becomes a big part of his arc. Sally Hawkins did not return to play Mrs. Brown here, with Emily Mortimer taking on the role this time. After a little bit of adjusting, it then becomes quick to see her as the sweet matriarch of this family, and Mortimer brings the right amount of warmth and humor while also making it her own. The 2 Brown children also have their own distinct personalities and don't feel like tag-alongs on the adventure. Among the new additions to the cast here is Antonio Banderas as the principal antagonist Hunter Cabot. However, there's a bit more complexity there, and unlike Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant's villains in the previous films, he's not necessarily a malicious character. Banderas is great at showing the different aspects of this boat captain and even helps make him a little bit sympathetic. Olivia Colman is also hilarious as a nun working at the home for retired bears in Peru. She is one of those actresses who, even with just a facial expression, can produce a laugh, and there's one silent reaction she has in this that's especially funny. Paddington, looking for his missing Aunt Lucy, provides a compelling story, and the filmmakers have a lot of fun in the jungle environment, especially the way the Browns try to navigate it in their own unique way. There are actually multiple story arcs going on at once here, with Paddington, the Browns, Mrs. Bird, and Cabot having their own individual storylines and issues they have to overcome, and the film gives each of these the needed amount of time. The comedy remains on point with so many clever gags, whether physical or witty. Dougal Wilson more than handles the task of continuing the visual humor that Paul King brought to the first 2 Paddington movies and makes good use of the locations filmed in Peru and Colombia. There are some fun sequences, including a musical number performed by Coleman, a run from an Indiana Jones-like rolling ball, and a few animated sequences that capture the family connection between the Browns, and these add to the enjoyment of the film. Another reason I really enjoyed Paddington in Peru is that it felt almost like an episode of DuckTales. It has that spirit of adventure and great interplay between the characters, along with other elements reminiscent of the escapades of Scrooge McDuck. Each Paddington movie has been able to stand out in their own way, and even when we get the familiar traits of the character and his world, like the marmalade sandwiches and his hard stare, the filmmakers don't repeat themselves and provide some variation. I like how the settings are different in each film too, which fits with the overall theme. The first film put an emphasis on Paddington getting accustomed to the streets of London and showcased a pro-immigration theme, while Paddington 2 gave us a colorful prison and was about how kindness is possible even among the most unexpected of people. With Paddington in Peru, there's the jungle and a story about how found families and blood relatives are equally valid. I know it can often feel like the world is a dark place with not much hope, but what's lovely about this series is it highlights that goodness is out there. Michael Bond created an endearingly optimistic character, and the filmmaking team behind these films have done such a good job of keeping what makes them so special and lasting, while also making family films that respect the intelligence of their audience. These really are some of the funniest, touching, and uplifting movies out there today.